Thursday, September 23rd session of the Small Business Bootcamp. My name is Faith Ritchie, and I'm the Small Business Programs Manager, filling in for your usual host, Robert Theobald. At the start of these sessions, we always like to acknowledge and give thanks to our many community partners who, without their expertise and time, we would not be able to provide the consistent content that we are. That being said, if you are new to the Small Business Bootcamp, the Small Business Bootcamp is designed to help small businesses of less than 20 employees return from the COVID crisis stronger than ever. It is a statewide initiative supported by our community partners and includes a resource collective and content library. The Resource Collective is a collection of educational and helpful resources provided by our community partners that include topics ranging from operational success to marketing strategies to grow your business. In addition to those resources, we'd also like to direct you to our content library. This library is the collection of our well over 140 bootcamp sessions. So whether you are wanting to learn about a new topic or revisit an old one, the content library is a great first step in finding those business answers. Now, for ongoing COVID-19 mitigation measures and resources, we continue to encourage you to visit the Arizona's website, arizonatogether.org, and the Arizona Commerce Authority's COVID-19 webpage. Additionally, we'd like to highlight the various programs and resources available to the business community through the Arizona Commerce Authority. From our small business services to Arizona at Work and the Arizona Manufacturing Extension Partnership, there are many resources and guided professionals to assist you in your business. Now, if we're talking about growing a business, the Small Business Checklist is an interactive and intuitive online resource to help with those commonly requested licensing information for local, state, and federal levels. So whether you are starting a business in Arizona, operating or growing, the checklist is a great resource to identify those needs. Quickly moving on to small business updates. I'm sure for a lot of you, these aren't new updates. However, we do want to highlight the importance of those listed. As always, additional links will be shared in the chat for more information. But for PPP loan forgiveness, please remember that you must apply for forgiveness. So if you have received a PPP loan, we encourage you to check those resources in the chat to see how you can go about applying for forgiveness. The Economic Injury Disaster Loan has had major announcements made regarding it, including the increase of its cap, as well as the implementation of a deferred payment period, as well as others. And so again, we encourage you, if you were unaware of those updates or would like to know more about those, please check those resources in the chat to learn more. The Employee Retention Credit, this is an opportunity for small businesses. We have recently done a bootcamp session regarding this topic. So again, we encourage you to check out that content library to review that session. But additional information, again, will be shared in the chat. And this is an opportunity to work with your tax professionals to see if you qualify. Last but certainly not least, our small business development centers located across the state are available to assist small businesses of varying sizes with one-on-one no-cost counseling. They too provide a calendar full of events and webinars. So we always encourage our small businesses to connect with their local small business development center to be included in that information as well for that counseling benefit. Now here's a look ahead of our next 2 weeks. As Robert had mentioned in last week's sessions, we are jumping into the holiday season here at the Small Business Bootcamp, and we'll kick off next week with holiday hacking. We are excited about this topic as we know cyber threats are a big topic of conversation. And so this again is a free opportunity to learn more. Moving throughout the next 2 weeks, you'll see from strategies for sales as well as workforce employers how to benefit. These sessions will be recorded and shared in that content library, but we encourage you to go ahead and register and view those live with us in the upcoming weeks. Now, without further ado, why we are all here today, we are so happy to welcome Taylor Wellman back for the third installment of this 3-part series focusing on YouTube optimization. I know that we have always gotten so much great information, and especially in these sessions, and we are excited to see and hear all of the great tips and strategies that she will share with us for the Video King website. So without further ado, again, thank you so much, Taylor, for being here. And we are so excited for today's session.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me come back. I'm so excited. For anyone who is part of part 1 and part 2, this is where things really just start making sense, and you're really going to start seeing results with the videos that you do. So let's just jump right into it. At any point, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A box. You'll see at the bottom of the toolbar that there's a Q&A box. Go ahead and post your questions in there. I'll take some breaks in between sections to see if there's any questions we want to answer right away, but I will definitely make sure that I leave some time at the very end. If you haven't noticed, I do talk a little bit on the fast side. I'm a recovering East Coaster, and so if you need me to slow down, if you need me to repeat anything, just let me know. I'm here to help you, and I'm working on slowing my pace. So what we're going to be doing today is going through Google and YouTube SEO. And so we're going to do a little bit of a review from last week on why focus on YouTube, and then what are the video SEO steps. We're actually going to be discussing the steps as well as show you on the YouTube platform where to put those steps, how they work, how to actually do it. And then of course, answering your questions. It's not going to be a valuable presentation unless all your questions are answered. And so once again, why start with YouTube? If you were a part of last week's session, you learned about the video distribution roadmap and how we always start with YouTube, because when we look worldwide, these are people within the age group of 15 to 56 and above. You can see everyone is on YouTube. Everyone is on YouTube, whether it's for entertainment or to learn something. And really, that's the majority of the time when people are online, they're searching for answers. They're searching for answers to their particular problems. And that's where you come into play. YouTube is the second most used search engine next to Google, which is number 1. Google takes about 96% of all search next to Bing, who only has 4%. And Google has owned YouTube since 2008. And so Google absolutely loves YouTube, absolutely loves YouTube videos. And so it's going to populate some videos in their search results if they think that it's relevant. And that's where doing SEO is so important. YouTube is also the second most visited website worldwide. And so you really want to make sure that if you're doing videos, if you're producing videos for your business, that you take the time to do the search engine optimization on YouTube to make both YouTube and, more importantly, Google happy. So what are the types of videos that you're going to be posting onto YouTube? This is a little bit of a repeat from session 1. YouTube, every video, literally every single video you produce, you should take the time to put it onto YouTube. So an introduction video, a testimonial or review, a product overview, a tutorial on how to use a product, just an SSME, which we call search and subject matter expert videos. So any video that you produce, you should take the time to put it onto YouTube and make sure it's fully search engine optimized if you want the chance to get organically found through search results. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to review with you what these steps are, and then I'm going to go on to YouTube and show you how to actually do all these steps. So step one, we have our title. The title is the title of your video. And when you're writing a title, you want there to be 70 characters that are keyword rich. And only the first 30 characters are actually seen when someone's scrolling on the wall. And so whenever you're trying to program what this title is going to be like and format it, think, okay, the first 30 characters needs to be something that's going to catch the attention of the person on the wall, that's going to be answering a question, and then you can utilize the last 40 characters in order to please the search results. And so the more that you kind of put how to into the title, how to is a very searchable phrase. People are always wanting to know how to bake a pie, how to sell my house faster, how to lose weight. People want to know that. And so go ahead and make sure that you're putting it in there. Okay, so number two is for the description. The description is extremely important. Although video is what people want to see content-wise, content's still king, and that you really do need to still have written content. So within a description section, you are allowed to have up to 5,000 characters in that description. And for it to be considered search engine optimized, you want to have at least 2,000 characters in there. And so the way we write this is in a 4-part format. Part 1 is going to be a restatement of the title with a call to action. We're all here in business. We're not just here to be YouTube creators. We want to get people to our website and to that next step. And so go ahead and in that first section, you are going to add the full URL. It needs to be the full https:// so on and so forth, entire URL for it to be clickable. If you only put, for my example, financialpotion.com, it won't be clickable on a desktop or a mobile device. So what's the point? The key is to make this as simple as possible for people. So that's part 1. Part 2 is a full description of the actual video. And so if you take the time to script your videos, you're going to save some time here, because then you're going to be able to just copy and paste your script as part 2. Part 3 is a general explanation of who you are, what's your business, what's your organization, what's your product. And then part 4 is a stay connected section where you're going to add more links to your website and to your social media sites. The beautiful thing is part 3 and part 4 can be taken care of for you in your upload defaults. You can put in there upload default. So anytime you upload a video, it's going to automatically upload with that content. And part 3 and 4 of your description writing should be consistent. So I'll make sure to show you where you can add that in your upload defaults. Number 3 is your tags, which most of the time can be taken care of through your upload defaults. It doesn't matter if it's an introduction video, a review, an SSME, you're always going to want to get found for your name and your business name. And so that should be in your upload defaults for your tags. Go ahead and put any tags in your upload defaults, and you always are going to want to get found for. And then when you're uploading and optimizing your video, you can go ahead and put more unique keywords or make sure that you have more relevant keywords. Now, these tags are actual keywords. And so they're not hashtags with the #sign. It is keywords and key phrases. So think about what are some of the words, what are some of the phrases that someone's going to be typing into Google or typing into YouTube that you would then want this video to populate with. Number 4, honestly, I think should be put down as number 1, and that is your custom thumbnail. 60% of the population on YouTube are on a mobile phone. And the way that a lot of those mobile phone viewers pick a video to watch is because the thumbnail shows that it's going to be answering a question that they have. And the thumbnail shows that you're going to be hearing from someone that you want to learn from. And so what makes a good thumbnail? Well, that's including a title, some sort of text that's going to let people know what the video is about, as well as either a smiling face or some sort of expression that's going to match that video. And so make sure that you put in those custom thumbnails and you're not just utilizing those 3 terrible thumbnails that YouTube gives you as an option. Number 5 is super important for people who have a brick and mortar. So this is going to be, if you have a Google Places account, you want to make sure that you go in and you actually tag your videos with that location. So then that way, when someone's searching your location, they're better to see some of your videos and learn more about you. Number 6, end screen. So when you look at this first image here, you'll see that we're in the last few seconds of the video. End screens are only in the last 20 seconds of a video, and they need to be up for at least 5 seconds. The most common end screens, well, you're required to actually link to a video or playlist. So you'll see here that there's a recommendation to another video to watch. You'll also see here this circle is the profile picture. The profile picture is actually going to be a subscription link. We want people to easily subscribe to our channels, so that way they're more likely to watch the videos from beginning to end. They're more likely to engage and leave a comment on the videos, which helps your ranking. And they're more likely to share your videos with other people that they think could benefit from them. And so make sure that you're always adding your subscription button. These two, the video and the subscription button, are a must for everyone. Now, once you have become a part of the YouTube Partner Program, that's having 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within 1 year, you can then add a button right to your website. I absolutely love this feature and truthfully wish that YouTube would go back to its old ways where everyone can link back to their website by proving they own their website. Let's hope that maybe somehow they're hearing us and they're going to make that update for everyone again, because it was so nice just to be able to quickly link back to someone's website. But until then, make it your goal to get to 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 watch hours, so that way we can add a link to your website. Number 7, we have cards. So cards are very similar to end screens. You'll know that a video has a card on it because it has that little eye icon on the top right-hand corner. What cards are is they're features like linking to a video, like linking to your website that you can put throughout the entire video. And so let's say you are doing a video series. Perhaps this is part 2. Within the first 5 to 10 seconds, you might want to add a card saying, "Did you watch video 1?" linking back to video 1. We want to use video cards to help people stay on track and be on the right content. And then again, once you're able to link to your website, you're going to want to make sure that you utilize those cards to then link to the website quickly. So if you're doing a product overview, go ahead in that first 30 seconds, link to your product. If you're doing a general introduction video, link to your contact page or your bio page within the next, the first 30 seconds to a minute. Go ahead and make sure you're just helping people get to that next step faster. Number 8, transcriptions. So when you look at this first image here with the red background, you'll see that there's a little CC button at the bottom of that toolbar. YouTube and Google will automatically do your closed captions. They're going to read your script, or try to read what you have in the video and put in closed captions. Now, at the time of this recording, and at the time of this presentation, Google and YouTube doesn't do any capitalizations, and they do not do any punctuation. And so when you look at it, it doesn't look clean. It's a little hard to follow. So for anyone who does enjoy having the closed captions on while watching a video, I'm one of them, it's hard to follow along and it's hard to actually really understand the content. You understand it better when you can utilize more senses. And so if you can hear and read along and see it, it's going to connect and you're going to remember it better. It's also very important to make sure that your transcriptions are corrected, because although they have gotten tremendously better, like amazingly better. They're still really bad with names and some business names. And your name and business name are very searchable. And so you want to make sure that they're fully corrected in your closed captions, because Google is indexing that information on the closed captions for another opportunity for you to get found in a search result. So make sure that your keywords and your business name and your name are correct. Lastly, we have our playlist placement. Every single video that you upload needs to be put into at least one playlist. It can be put into as many playlists as it's appropriate. So for example, let's say it's an SSME video on lawn care, maybe your front yard lawn care for landscaping. They would have that particular video on a catch-all account that's the name of their business. And so like Arizona Lawn Care, they would put that particular video in Arizona Lawn Care. But then they would also put it in a lawn care tips playlist, because it is a tip versus a review versus an employee introduction video. And so think about your videos and what are those different categories that you can put them in into playlists. And the reason why you want to do that is because each playlist will have a description as well. And so you want to make sure that you make your playlist very searchable. So those are the 9 steps. Now what we're going to be doing though, is I'm going to share with you some our YouTube channel with a video and actually show you how to do all those steps and where all those steps are. So one thing to keep in mind is this is a video that has already been posted. And so why I say that is that this screen is going to look a little different than when you're first uploading a video, but all the steps are the same. They just might be in a slightly different place. And so keep that in mind. Now, this is really great for anyone who has videos already on your YouTube account that need to be search engine optimized. It's okay to go back and enhance your old videos. You don't need to only do it to your new videos. So if you have videos on a YouTube account that you know aren't getting the views that it should and you want more organic views, do these steps, do the search engine optimization. We have seen that it helps videos get found and have more views by just utilizing search engine optimization. So first things first actually is notice you can't really quite tell perhaps, but the browser I'm using is Chrome. We have found that Chrome actually works best with YouTube. And you would first want to download something called tubebuddy.com. It's a free extension for Chrome. I do believe they allow it for Firefox, but like I said, just use Chrome. And what you can do is download this free extension, and it's really going to help you with your SEO. And so there are some paid accounts that will give you more suggestions for keywords or let you have some more customization steps that I'll show you. But really, I would say 95% of my clients use and love the free extension of TubeBuddy. So one cool thing about TubeBuddy is that you can get a pulse on how your video is performing. And so this video that we're going to be reviewing together, I'm going to open it. And as you can see here, let me move my Zoom box. It actually has 100% SEO score. And so what we want to always strive for is an 80% or better. And so after you have a chance to download TubeBuddy and then click on one of your videos, see what the SEO score is. If you're already sitting at 80% or better, you might be fine just to leave it alone. But if you're not at 80%, definitely utilize these steps that you're going to learn throughout the rest of this course in order to get you up to at least 80%. That's one of the cool features of TubeBuddy, is giving you some of this information. All right. So we mentioned the first step is the title. When you click on your title box, you'll see that it does say, a number out of 100. You're allowed up to 100 characters, but what we have found to be that SEO sweet spot is 70. And so if there's a way for you to craft it to be, right around 70, that's the best. 100 is totally fine. You're just not really gaining anything by adding those extra 30 characters. And so as you can see, this particular one does not have a how-to, but it's very specific on the type of product it is. Because if someone's about to buy a product, they're going to look up that exact product, and the fact that there's a review on there, smartphone and computer recording, microphone, there's a lot of keywords in here that if someone's looking for a microphone for smartphone, a microphone for computer, KimaFun wireless review, it has a lot of opportunities to get found in that search. The next section is your description. That's this next box here. As I scroll to the bottom, I can get a pulse on where I'm sitting at. So for this particular one, we're at 2806 out of 500. That is considered, search engine optimized. So let's take a look at those 4 steps in detail here now. So right here, this is step 1, part 1. Part 1, like I said, is a restatement of the title with then a call to action. So looking for a quality wireless mic that connects to your phone and your computer, enjoy this. And then you can see it's basically the entire title right there. And then click here to purchase. Boom, you got your full URL to a equipment page that we have on our website. And so restate the question or restate the title and add that call to action URL. Something to note about part 1 is notice it's only 3 lines within this box. That first part needs to be done within 3 to 4 lines. If it's beyond that many lines, it's going to go below that show more spot. And we want to make sure that we have our call to action link in that first piece before it says show more. So let me show you over here. You can see before the show more, we have a clickable link, and that can go to another page. Oh, says not found. I'll have to fix that. I know our website's doing some updates right now, so I'm gonna take a quick note of that. Anywho, you can see that there is a link right there on that top fold, and make sure that you are in contact with your web designer so everything is working correctly. Part two is going to be that more general explanation about what the actual video is about. And that is all of this right here. This is all part 2. So you can see that I start part 2 with a couple of hashtags. So these are utilizing the pound number sign hashtag. The reason why I do this is that we don't actually have a brick and mortar. And so when you don't have a brick and mortar, you really want to utilize hashtags, because these 3 hashtags are going to populate at the top of your title when someone is looking at your video, as you can see right here. And so what you always want to do is have a mixture of a unique hashtag to your own business, so you can start building your own catalog, as well as some more commonly used hashtags, so you have an opportunity to get found when someone's in that kind of hashtag search result. Another very, very, very important step, this is actually fairly new as an important step, is that Google is now indexing chapters or sections within your video. And so any video that's truthfully, any video I would say more than 3 minutes long should have chapters. And so what you do is you would say something like highlights to this video, or chapters to this video, or important parts to this video. Give it some sort of table of contents title. And then you always have to start with 00:00. That's the start of the video. So it's letting the coding know, okay, yes, this is a start of a video. And then go ahead and put a very searchable chapter title. And so I just go ahead and I always repeat the title of the video because it is an introduction to that video and it makes it more searchable. Then every chapter needs to be at least 10 seconds apart. And so this next chapter is how much is the KimaFun 2.4G wireless lav microphone? That is a very searchable phrase. And now we have an opportunity to get found in that little section because of that searchable phrase. And so if you look down the rest of this, we just kind of take a look at the video and break it into those chapters. And what we have found is not only does it help you get found on Google because of that indexed search result of your just particular chapter title, but also people are actually staying on content longer because they're not getting annoyed going, this isn't answering my question. They're able to look at the description and find that spot. It might be 5 minutes in. And instead of that annoyance of sitting there for a minute and a half and then going to somewhere else, they can then jump to that particular spot, watch your content, learn, and then be able to move on with their day, which might be clicking onto your website to take that next step. After this whole just, chapter description and chapter placement, then you're going to have more of an explanation about the video. So whether you put in your script or you put just some information, go ahead and fill it out a bit more. Then you can see here, this is my part 3, just a general explanation of what my business is. And then we have our stay connected section. And so this part 3 and part 4 can both be taken care of in your upload defaults, which I will make sure to show you how to access those upload defaults. Okay, so thumbnails. We were talking about thumbnails and how important they are. As you can see, YouTube does a great job. That was not too bad. I'm actually at least smiling. But YouTube, for the most part, does not do the best job at selecting 3 options. And so once you have a verified channel, you want to make sure that you verify your channel. You then are able to upload your own thumbnail. Or if you use TubeBuddy, you can utilize their thumbnail creation. And so if you have Photoshop, go ahead and just create something on Photoshop. If you use Canva, go ahead and look up YouTube thumbnails and then create a thumbnail from there. Remember, you want to have some sort of facial expression as well as the text. Now, typically I would like to have a better smile than that, but it was a good shot of me actually holding the product so people could see, okay, we're actually going to be opening the product and looking at the product. Now, if you wanted to use TubeBuddy, let's go through this really quick. I always typically say use some still frame from the video. And when you're doing your videos, you always want to start with a smile and end with a smile. So more than likely in that first 3 seconds or last 3 seconds, there's probably a smile there that you can grab. And so as you can see, this is an old video, it has my old logo and everything on there, but you can simply scroll until you find something that you like. So let's just say, for example, okay, I want to highlight my kitty because Devious is awesome and he's super cute, but maybe I didn't think that was the perfect frame. You can use these little arrows to adjust the frame a little bit. Maybe I want to be looking, okay, right there. Not the best facial expression, but we're going to say it's okay. If I liked this framing, I would then say continue. And then you can see here that you have more tools. You can add some emojis to have some fun with it. There you go, cover my face up. And then you can add other images if there were other images that you want to upload and add. You can also add some text. And as you can see, when I write text, nothing is there. You have to say add layer. And then once you click on it, you can go ahead and change the style of it, however you would want it to be. As you can see, this is actually the free account. And you can adjust the sizing. Boop, boop, boop. This is the free account. And so when you click on text, you're only given a few options. If you want to upload your own fonts, you would have to upgrade your license, which I think the pro license is only maybe like $8 or $9 a month. It's not too bad. And if it's something that, if you don't have Photoshop, if you don't have Canva, if you want other options than what is provided for free, you may want to consider it. When you are doing your thumbnails, try to refrain from putting anything right in the middle here. That's where the play button is going to be. Also try to refrain from putting anything right in this bottom right-hand corner. That's typically going to be showing the timer of how long the video is. You also don't want to have anything right at the tippity top here, because that is where sometimes the title is shown. So anything within the space that I'm kind of putting this text in, that is all safe space to put some other titling. And then you would say continue. And then what this does is it's going to show you how your thumbnail looks in comparison to other people with a similar topic or similar video. And basically you want to say, okay, mine does look good, it stands out, and it's something that I would click on. You know, as you can see, a lot of the really good ones do have that mixture of text and person. And so I'm not going to save it. I think I still like my original one, although Devious is adorable. So I'm just going to X out of it. Next here, we have our playlist. And again, we want to go ahead and put it in as many playlists as appropriate. And you can always click on new playlist if you don't already have a playlist created. In this section, it's asking if your video is made for kids. Now, I don't put this as a part of the YouTube optimization steps because it's not really a search engine optimization step. And also it's pretty new. Really, even if your content's appropriate, like my content is kid appropriate, but it's not made for kids. And so you want to make sure that it says no, because you miss out on a lot of SEO tools. You can't use cards or end screens if you said it was for kids. And it also kind of hurts some of your search results if you say it's for kids. And so unless you're doing ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, you're not making videos for kids. Do you need to restrict your video? This is also one of the newer situations here. Again, even if you might curse, I would still say, no, don't restrict my video over 18. You know, use your best judgment on that one. Obviously, if you're being paid to promote a product, like I was not paid to get this, we got that microphone and we just did our own review on it. We do that a lot. But if you were paid, you do have to select that. Now, allow automatic chapters. This is something that's good just to keep on in case you need some assistance unless you need some assistance with, getting those chapters in there. And so if you need some assistance, maybe you don't have a team to help you with your YouTube optimization, it doesn't hurt to allow that to go on there, but then still review it and correct it, similar to the closed captions, which we're going to talk about. All right, so now we have our tags here. And as you can see, they're just phrases, they're not hashtags, and it actually shows you where in the search results these kind of are showing for you. So when we search Kimafun wireless microphone, I'm listed at number 2 and then 23 and 4 here for Kimafun. That's all using TubeBuddy tools to give you an idea of how your search results are doing. And then as you can see here with the free version, it's going to give you some other options, some other ideas of things to link to. You would just simply click on it. And then as you can see, by me clicking on it, I'm going over that 500 count. And so I might want to just delete some ones that I don't think are as appropriate to link to. So you can just go ahead and just X out a few until you think that you're good and you're back at, below that 500, but as close to 500 as possible. If you were to upgrade your account, obviously TubeBuddy will give you more suggestions and more ideas on what to put as tags. And so if you're really not sure what keyword tags to put in, you might want to consider having TubeBuddy for a month or 2 just to get an idea of those tags that you should be putting on there. Okay. You do want to go ahead and put in what language that you are speaking. That's also something you can do in your upload defaults, which I'll show you. Because what they're going to do is once you let them know what language you're speaking, then that's what they're going to do the closed captions in for the most part. You might still find the time to time that YouTube thinks that you're speaking Portuguese and you still have to totally correct it, but this does make it a little easier and better for you. Video location. This is if I was a brick and mortar, if I had a Google Places account, I would want to go ahead and make sure that I put in my actual location here. And you want to make sure that what you would type in is actually populating as a result. If you don't see your location populating up as a result, then that means you need to go to your Google Places account and make sure that that's all set up correctly. So I do allow embedding, so I do want to have the opportunity to embed my video onto other sites. You could turn that off if you want. Now this is something that you want, this is brand new. And so short sampling, you'll notice even on all your old videos, just like this one, I haven't been in a while, it's automatically checked yes, because YouTube is trying to compete with the world of the Instagrams and the TikToks. And so now they have hashtag shorts. And that's where they're allowing users to sample other users' content to create their own little shorts. I personally do not like that. I'm not a singer. I'm not an artist in that sense. And so I don't want people just sampling my content. And so I would advise going through and checking that off. Under your category, go ahead and select the category that you think your content is most appropriately attached to. Unfortunately, you can only pick one category. And then I say save plenty, save often, because you never know when it comes to technology. And then here on the right-hand side, you'll see where our other tools are. And so I'm going to take a quick break because I see a question here. What about STEM students, still kids? So yeah, if you are truly doing something educational, let's say you're doing something science-based, it doesn't need to be just elementary ABCs, 1, 2, 3s like I mentioned. But if you are truly crafting something for kids, then yes, say it's for kids. But like I said, even if your content's wholesome, like our lawn care example, lawn care is not marketing to kids. They're not trying to communicate to kids. And so the answer would be no, this video is not for kids. If you are doing something about engineering for kids, then yes, it is for kids. I hope that answered your question. Okay, so subtitles. Those are those closed captions. Okay. So as you can see, these have already been corrected. And if you've already uploaded your video, you're going to see a similar looking page. It's just not going to have the punctuation and the capitalization. What you want to go and do is play the video and then make the adjustments as you're listening to the video. If you are just uploading your video and it's been less than a half hour's time, you may find that there is nothing here, that it's completely blank. Then what you would still do is play the video, maybe click on pause while typing, and then start typing along. You're going to go ahead and transcribe your video. And then once you're done transcribing it, you can press done and it's going to auto sync for you. If you wrote a script, you're going to be able to save some time because then you can simply copy and paste your script into that section. And then again, it will also auto save and auto do the timing for you. Okay. And so any questions about that? It's pretty basic. It's honestly like probably one of the more easiest steps, but it's definitely very time consuming that I know a lot of people don't like to do, but we have seen doing this step alone has helped people's results tremendously. So make sure you take the time. Another benefit of taking the time to do your closed captions is you can then download the closed caption file to then be able to use when uploading to Facebook and LinkedIn, because we talked about last week that those are platforms where 80% of the viewers are watching videos on silent at first. And so you want to have those closed captions autoplay while they're scrolling on the wall to then decide, oh, this video is talking about something that I want to know about. Let me click on it. Okay. End screen. So I see a couple of questions coming up, but I'm actually going to hold them until the end because there's a few things that we need to review before we are out of our time. So I'm going to keep putting your questions in there. I'll get to it at the very end. End screens, we talked about those. So those are the pieces that are going to be at the very end of a video. It takes up the last 20 seconds of a video, but it has to be up for a minimum of 5 seconds. And so you can see here that this is going to show the most recent upload. You're absolutely required to have a video or playlist link. And so my suggestion with that is if there's a playlist that you think people really should watch next, then link to that playlist. If you're posting a video at least once a week or more frequent, then say, yes, link to my most recent upload. We always want to try to give our most recent uploads an opportunity to be watched just to help with our overall search results. If you're not posting regularly, but there is a specific video that would be best to watch next, then go ahead and click on specific video and select that video. If you're not posting frequently and you also don't know what video to share, then go ahead and choose best for viewer. What it's going to do is Google and YouTube is going to look at the content that that viewer watches and then provide a suggestion of your content of what would be the next best thing to watch. And as you can see here, they just show up in the little icons. You can move them around. You just can't ever have them sitting on top of each other, or else you'll have those little red spots. And so as you can see, we have our subscription link, we have our website link, and we have a video link. Cards, we talked about those. Those are the mobile friendly features that you can put throughout the video. And so they're going to be links to websites. This one's a link to our Patreon account. This one is, I believe, a link to the website to get a strategy session. You always just have to add a link and then an image and then basically a teaser text. That's what's going to pop up here to kind of tease them to click on it, and then a call to action. And so cards, if you're just starting with YouTube, you're probably not going to use them too much, like I said, unless you're just trying to suggest other videos sooner. But once you have that ability to link to your website, cards should really be utilized in every single video you do. Okay, so really quickly, before I jump into questions, I want to go through upload defaults and playlists. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to our channel content. And then you'll see that there's playlists. And then go ahead and click on edit in YouTube once you have your playlist. And then you want to make sure that you have some sort of description. This doesn't need to be too long. I try to say about, if you can do like 150 characters or so, just some sort of description in there about what this playlist is going to be about. And so you want to make sure that every single playlist you do has some sort of description on there. In that same space, if you're thinking ahead, you can also click on the upper right-hand corner for new playlists and create those new playlists that you're going to have. Now your upload defaults, this is in your Creator Studio, and you get there by clicking on your upper right-hand corner, and then there would be a spot that said Creator Studio if I wasn't already in it. And then go ahead into your settings. Under settings, really quickly, just to chat with you all, make sure you go into your basic info, make sure that your country of residence is in there, make sure that you have channel keywords listed, go ahead to your advanced setting, make sure that, if you have a Google account, you put that information in there, and then feature eligibility. Extremely important, make sure that you are fully verified because you want to make sure that you can upload videos over 15 minutes long and custom thumbnails. And so if you don't verify your account, you're not going to be able to do any custom thumbnails. So upload defaults. I never, ever put an upload default title, because if I was ever planning ahead and did a batch upload of like 5 videos, all 5 of those videos are going to have the same title. So I would not suggest doing a upload default title. But in here, you can see we have our upload default description, and I have almost 1,000 characters right there. So then whenever I have to do a new video optimization, I have to do just a little more than 1,000 characters to get to that 2,000 mark. So really strive to try to get about 1,000 characters in that upload default. You can also see here that we have our upload default tags. Go ahead and put any tag that you think you're going to want to get found for. And then, as you saw, just make the adjustment when you're doing your optimization. Maybe take out keywords that aren't as relevant and then put in ones that are more relevant, or ones that TubeBuddy maybe suggests that you do. And so those are your upload defaults and your playlists. And so now I'm going to be looking and seeing what kind of questions we have while we still have a few minutes together. Let's see here. One question is, how about showing a trailer for a short film? Does the last option, should the last option be checked? No. So basically what that last short option is, it's saying that, let's say you posted your trailer, right? I can then go and take your trailer and make a little short video of my own with it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to give people my content like that. And so even if you're uploading a trailer to a short, don't allow people to take shorts from that. I really think that that's a benefit for music artists that really just want that exposure to get their content out there, or any type of artist really, or creator in that sense. And so, if it's a trailer for a short film, just upload the trailer, make sure you fully search engine optimize that trailer, link it back to the movie's website. I saw another question in here. Do shorts applied? Sorry. Hello. Okay. Sorry, my mic completely went out on me for a second there. I love technology this week. I don't know about you all. Let's see here. So it asked if the shorts are applied to old videos. So does this need to be reviewed and checked off? Yes, Susan. As you saw, I actually have not been in that Kimafun video for probably almost a year or so. I just knew it had the chapters in there because I knew my team recently did that to it. So I knew it would be a good example for us. But as we saw, it had the shorts on there. So go through your old videos and make sure to take off the shorts. We don't want people just sampling our content.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Taylor. We do still have some time. So for those of you who are second guessing yourself about asking that question, go ahead, type that in the Q&A. It's always so exciting to go through these presentations, Taylor, and I'm so happy you were able to provide a walkthrough to see. I remember when I started working with YouTube, and it was really just self-learn. Good luck. So it's just so nice to have the guidance through that process.
And as you're doing, your YouTube optimization, if come tomorrow, you're starting to wonder where those buttons are, that is YouTube's MO. YouTube, they move buttons, they eliminate features, they add new features. And so you are not crazy. That is just YouTube. And that's where, being in YouTube regularly is really great. I only learn by just doing most of the time because you see the updates that they're doing. And so just always take a deep breath. I had a call with a client earlier this week who was trying to work on her chapters. I trained her how to do the chapters. And then she just said, why is it not saving? Why is it not working? And then I looked at it later and it was working. And she said, well, why didn't it seem like it was working? And I said, YouTube sucks like that sometimes. And she's like, okay, at least I have an answer. And it's unfortunately the truth.
We did get a question in the Q&A, which I will touch on, Taylor, and appreciate it, Doug. This recording will be shared on our website later this afternoon, so you can rewatch this to go step by step with Taylor today or throughout your weekend. It will be available later today.
Yes, I do apologize, my East Coast speech. You should be able to slow me down or at least pause it and review and then go through again and be able to watch it and follow along. But in addition to that, if you have a YouTube channel and you're just not sure if even the channel is search engine optimized, we provide a complimentary audit. Go ahead, email me your URL to your channel. And what we will do is we will create an audit that's going to highlight what looks good and what are some areas you might want to focus on. In addition to that complimentary audit, it comes with a half-hour strategy session where we review that audit, give you some tips, and then see if there's a way that we can help you get it enhanced to where it needs to be.
Excellent. And Taylor's contact information and website is on the screen. I don't see any additional questions, so I think that that's a great sign.
Oh, there's one more question.
There is one I just saw. As soon as I say it, it pops up.
So thank you. This is utilizing just a green screen and a graphic. And so you created a graphic similar to how you're going to create your thumbnails. Maybe you do it on Canva or Photoshop. You would then go into Zoom and upload it as your virtual background. Now you'll notice though that I'm able to move my fingers, I'm able to just move around, and I'm not disappearing and reappearing. That's because I'm utilizing a green screen. That it's something that we talked about actually in class 1. It's taking the green screen pledge. If you're going to be on Zoom and you're going to be wanting to utilize a virtual background, make sure you have a green screen with it, but then also make sure that your computer can process it. I have found that, some people that are using more, eco-friendly laptops that are maybe a little on the cheaper side, they don't have the processing capabilities to actually do a good key. And so if you want to have a background like this, make sure your computer can handle it and then just utilize a green screen. And you don't even have to worry about lighting as much in comparison to like a normal video. Let me just show you really fast since we have a moment.
No, perfect. And just as Taylor mentioned, she did walk through this in part 1 of her series. So we always encourage you, if you have the time, to check out that full webinar.
So as you can see, this is what I'm sitting by. It's just a green screen with terrible lighting. Like I'm going to tell you, if this was terrible, like look at that shadow back there. That is such a huge shadow. If this was a real video that we were doing in studio, that would look like a mess right there. But luckily, Zoom does a pretty good job. And so you're able to just upload. I do like the black. I think it hides also when there's some shadowing issues in comparison to maybe a white. You can see there's some dancing behind me because of, once again, the shadowing. I just don't have that separation that I need in my office. But if you do a darker background of sorts, you can see that it looks really clean.
I love how you say that as I see my shadow now behind me. I should join the green screen challenge.
Yes.
But again, Taylor's information is on the screen, and today's recording will be available later this afternoon, as well as all of her previously recorded sessions. So we hope you're able to come back and join us Tuesday at 9 o'clock as we jump into our holiday topics. Taylor, thank you again for taking the time to spend with us, especially these past 3 weeks. It's always such a pleasure to have you present, and we hope that you'll join us again. That goes for all of you out there as well. We hope again to see you next week. Until then, have a great day and a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, everyone.